Carlos Prates versus Ian Garry just got announced, and kudos to Ian Garry for taking another late notice fight, and also against a guy who is very scary, up and coming Carlos Prates. This fight is going to be so good, man. And I love how Ian Garry is betting on himself, because when it does pay out, and it could pay out against Carlos Prates, this man's just going to blow up and get even bigger as a star in the UFC. I mean, this is all in favor for Ian Garry, and hopefully he can show us that Carlos Prates is beatable. But Carlos Prates, man, he's a different animal, and he has crazy knockout power. So it's going to be a very fun, electric fight.
What's up, folks? The Sportsbook Killer. UFC Kansas City this Saturday. Don't miss it. We got the men's welterweight division. Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. This is a fight. This is the main event, y'all. Ian Machado Garry, he's a versatile striker. He has serious hard kicks, and he throws a lot of different kicks. He boxes out of orthodox stance. He has phenomenal takedown defense. He's a judo black belt, and he has great cardio. He can go.
All right, Jeff Neal out of his matchup against Carlos Prates. Ian Garry steps in. I still like Carlos Prates in this one, but Ian Garry, because he's a decent striker, obviously, can make it fun.
What's up, fight fans? Today we've got something special for you. The stage is set for an epic battle between Ian Machado Garry and Carlos Prates at UFC Kansas City, and we've gathered the most expert predictions to break it all down for you. First up, we have UFC legend and commentator Michael Bisping. He believes Ian Machado Garry will emerge victorious in this matchup. Bisping points out that Garry's technical striking, his ability to move around the octagon, and his high fight IQ give him a clear edge over Carlos Prates. According to Bisping, Garry's sharp footwork and well-rounded skill set will help him avoid Prates' power shots and control the pace of the fight. He also mentioned that if Garry stays composed and sticks to his game plan, he could win by decision or even late stoppage if Prates tires out. It's safe to say Bisping is confident that Garry will stay calm under pressure and show his experience inside the cage.
Is that guy, okay? You might love him, you might dislike him, but either way, you want to tune in and watch the guy fight. And then on the flip side, he's taking on Carlos Prates. This man's incredible. 4 fights in 2024, 4 stoppages, beautiful striking, ridiculous knockout power, and the man does it all while smoking 10 to 15 cigarettes per day.
Next up, we have Dan Tom from MMA Junkie, who brings a different perspective. Dan sees Carlos Prates as a serious threat, especially with his powerful striking and finishing ability. He highlights Prates' dangerous approach in the early rounds, where his pressure and knockout power can overwhelm opponents. However, Dan also believes that if Garry can survive the early storm and use his superior movement and technique, he'll have the advantage later in the fight. Dan suggests that Garry will likely secure a decision victory by managing the range and avoiding Prates' big shots. This is going to be a battle of Garry's composure versus Prates' raw power early on.
Really good at that too. In fact, I would argue Garry is better striking with southpaws, where he is technically 3-0 against UFC level lefties, than he is against orthodox opposition. And that head kick we saw him land against D-Rod Daniel Rodriguez could be live, even though I love the southpaw swagger and savvy, the pivots and the shoulder rollings in tow from Prates. He can lean heavy to his left, that open side, so perhaps some upset potential there. However, his ability to counter kicks that.
Moving on, we've got the bantamweight champion, Aljamain Sterling. Sterling leans heavily towards Ian Garry in this matchup. He appreciates Garry's ability to stick to a disciplined game plan and his technical approach to fighting. Sterling points out Garry's impressive distance control, which will allow him to avoid trading in the pocket with Prates. He also praises Garry's ability to stay smart and not get pulled into the chaos that Prates might try to create. Sterling believes Garry will outclass Prates and win by decision if he can stay composed and focused on his movement. Aljo's confidence in Garry shows just how much he respects Garry's potential at the top of the division.
Ian's long rangy, does a great job of controlling the range. He's got those oblique kicks, he's got that long jab, he's got nice combinations, he's got a great high kick. Prates, southpaw, he does a good job controlling the range too, that lead hand, and he looks for that freaking missile of a left hand down the middle. Boom, he's got those knees, he'll trap your hand, fake the cross from the backhand from a southpaw with the left hand, and then step in with the knee that he hit on that kid Racky.
The bloody elbow experts all agreed that Machado Garry will walk out of Kansas City with the victory, although the manner of his victory is disputed. Kyle and Jamie see him going the distance against Prates. The Brazilian is known for getting his wins via knockout, with nobody sure how he'll do in a full 5-round fight. The fight going as long as possible should work in Machado Garry's favor, as the future won via judge's decision in 6 of his 9 wins in the UFC.
Having this ability to think in my own head, I feel like this is one of the best places to do it. You playing on your own, no one else around, nothing else going on.
Prates has accused Machado Garry of being boring, which Jordan and Donna don't see him taking that lying down. The Irishman has been criticized for not being able to finish fights, so he could take that doubt and turn it into a dominant victory to hand Prates his first UFC loss. Sean Brady will be paying close attention to the UFC Kansas City main event on Saturday. And Machado Garry will take on Carlos Prates in the main event in an intriguing welterweight showdown. The winner could be right near a title shot and could perhaps face Brady. Although Brady has taken aim at Garry in the past, he does expect the Irishman to get the win here. Unfortunately, I'm going to pick Ian to win this fight, Brady said on The Brady Bag Show. Ian has more ways to win than Carlos does. Obviously, Carlos could probably knock him out. Ian knows how to win. He'll probably strike. Sean Brady isn't a fan of Ian Machado Garry, but does think the Irishman will fight smart and avoid the power punches of Carlos Prates. However, he makes it clear the Irishman is not an elite fighter as Garry says he is. This guy talks about how he's the best fighter. You're not. The only reason people talk about you is because online outside, Brady added. If Ian Machado Garry does beat Carlos Prates at UFC Kansas City, as Sean Brady suggests, he's open to taking that fight next.